Let's do the bullets.
Yeah.
Bullets?
Yeah.
Bullets. Pew, pew. Pew, pew, pew.
Now, Dave, don't pour the full 2-ounce sample.
Hey everybody, welcome to Another Proof. I'm Ian. I got Darryl and Dave here, and we're going to be checking out a Bulleit Surprise.
I'm Dave, and I'm super excited about Bulleit because I've been watching the series Yellowstone on Netflix, and they have Bulleit bottles in the background everywhere, and I've been wanting to buy one, but I'm being influenced, and now I get to try it, all thanks to you, Darryl.
Absolutely,
Yes, thank
Dave.
you, Darryl.
I am Darryl, and we're going to start with the 10-year-old, and then we'll get into the surprise.
Pew pew pew
So-
pew pew pew.
Is that is it? Oh, Bullets. I was like, is that a Yellowstone thing? What is happening? Yeah.
Have you watched Yellowstone? Sorry, side note before we get into the whiskey.
Yellowstone
not.
is amazing.
You haven't, Ian?
No,
Ian, you'll love it.
I should.
Yeah.
You should really
Is it-
watch it.
Is it Kevin Costner?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's great. I've loved it. There's a
Yeah.
new season coming out soon.
The wives
watch
love
it.
it. And it's dark.
Oh,
It's dark and edgy. So don't
Edgy.
think that this is a fun-filled thing. It's very dark, very edgy. Gangs, cowboys, lots of dangerous stuff happening. People getting beaten up and stuff.
If you keep talking, I'm going to have to take you to the railroad station.
No, don't do it. I'm
I
sorry.
don't know what that means, but I'm not sure that's a good thing. That's it. I was nosing this while you guys were rambling about some Kevin Costner show. Um,
Is it
and
not
I
delightful?
love bourbon.
Oh my goodness. This is different than something I've had before. Like, I was just having, like, before when we were chatting, I was drinking some Paul coffee, which is like a little Canadian whiskey. But the nose on this is incredibly pungent. Like, it's a great pop.
Is pungent a good word?
Okay, maybe not pungent, but like it's a noseful. I'll call it a noseful.
A noseful.
It's a noseful.
It's a noseful. That's a noseful.
I'm
Oak.
getting like cherry pie.
Nah, I'm getting oak.
I smell the cherry. There is like a very sweet cherry there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, oak. I get oak. Well, it's 10 years old, so this is Bulleit. It's not the base range. Darryl spent some brought out the big bucks and gave us the 10-year-old and then a surprise, whatever that might be.
Thank you.
But the 10-year-old is their $50 bottle up here, I think, right? The base orange label Bulleit is about 40. The 10-year-old is a nicer little bottle that you get up here. And every time I have it, I go through it way too quick and I don't realize it. I never thought I really liked it, but man, this nose is doing wonders for me right now.
I'm getting a little pine. Does that make sense? Do you get any pine, like pine needles, like fresh, like?
What were you working with today?
Yeah.
I don't get pine.
But like almost evergreen. Like it's kind of got like a bit of
Mhm.
a Christmas forest feel, like you're going tree shopping. And
For me, it's all cherries. I got some nectarine in there. Some
Wow.
baking spices.
I'm not getting any bacon spice for sure. Bacon spice or baking? Baking spice.
If it's
Is it-
bacon, I gotta dive in deeper. If it's bacon spice,
I'm getting almost like a bit of a peanutty as well.
Oh, peanut for sure. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I was like way
As
off
you
on
said
the
peanut, I
pine
was like,
thing, but then
peanut for sure. Yeah.
But it's like
That
'cause
might be the
Knob
earthiness
Creek-
that you're trying to get to. That
maybe,
peanut.
yeah. Because Knob Creek has a peanutness to it too.
Peanutness.
Sorry.
What was that
it's
word?
not even at a full pour yet.
Oh shoot.
This
Oh.
isn't even one poor Dave.
No, this is. We told you.
Oh,
We're changing
shoot.
his name from One Beer Dave to
Sorry.
One Beer Neck Dave.
You can't clean me up and take me anywhere. But this has like a more fruity undertone than the peanuts. Like the peanuts are there, but then there's definitely that heavy influence.
So this is, I believe, is Four Roses distillate. Bulleit rye is MGP. Bulleit bourbon, the old bourbon, so this is 10-year age dated, so it would be older source stuff, would be Four Roses, which makes sense if you think back to the single barrels and small batch that we tried. It's got a bit more of that fruity, bold aroma.
Right.
So, and that would make sense with this.
I haven't had something with a nose like this in a long time. I don't know what I've been drinking, but this is delightful. I haven't even sipped it yet, and I'm excited.
You were on vacation, so probably White Claws.
You're not wrong.
White Claws and Palm Bays all day.
All day, baby.
That's literally what we brought up. That's literally, we're not even joking. Strawberry, banana, Palm Bay, and the assortment of whatever the other
The
thing
claw,
was.
baby.
The claw, yeah. Oh dear.
All right, I just took a sip.
So this is I don't know what the original is, Ian. You might remember. This is 45.6%.
I think it's
Really?
43 maybe for the original, maybe 45, but
That's good then at that proof point.
it's 90 proof. Yeah.
The nose carries through onto the palate.
Orange peel.
Yeah, it tastes what you smell. I find that a lot of whiskeys sometimes I can get a completely different palate than nose. It changes on you, and sometimes you're hoping for one thing and you get something completely different. But this is really following through on what you're nosing, I find.
So something I get on this one that I haven't on other bourbons is as it evolves on your tongue about midway point, it starts off as the orange peel, orange rind. And as it continues to sit, it almost turns into like a Dawn soap.
Yeah.
Oh,
Soapy.
really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
I've-
Is this
I've
like
never
you
had
said
that
a
on another one.
swear and you got your mouth washed out with soap and it's
Well,
bringing back
yeah.
that memory?
I mean,
More like
in a Christian household, I had a lot of soap in my mouth.
don't drop it though.
No, that's
Don't
jail.
clap.
Ian.
Oh, sorry.
I hope that's not
Christian
happening in your
household
house.
jail.
I hope
don't
that's
know.
not happening in your house.
Hey, never mind.
I do wish there was a bit more of a finish though.
So I was going to say that I find it astringent, which is like a lot of alcohol. I feel like the nose is packed full of flavorful nosing, whatever term we want to use there. And then it goes into the palate, a little lackluster for me. Then it goes astringent, so it kind of sucks all the moisture out, and then it like a red wine almost. So you know when that red wine kind of goes in, I think that's the oak on it. So it's a 10 years old. I'm not sure what char they use, but it feels like it's got a fair bit of oak, and I noticed that on the nose. And then the finish is just kind of flat, super crushable.
Yes, and I think like for me, as I'm learning more about whiskeys and bourbons, as people come over, as guidelines start to open up, I'm starting to like. I had my buddy over the other day, and I'm like, "Oh, what should I pour for him?" He's like, "Hey, are we gonna get into your collection?" I'm like, "Sure." But like I don't know what to go to for certain people and whether or not something that I enjoy is going to be too harsh for them. Where I find this has a great smell, a great nose. It's got a decent palate and it's going to leave you with a nice finish. It's not going to give you that hard like Kentucky hug kick in the chest. So I feel like somebody can palate this fairly well and hold a straight face without being like it's really good.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
It's not the easy sipping Basil Hayden's. It's got a little bit to it, or not a little bit. It's got quite a bit to it. I think the more I've drank it, the more that's come out. But it's definitely one you could hand to somebody, and it's aged enough that it's got that maturity on it that they may enjoy it. Ian, what I get on the end of it, the longer it sits, it's a very light at the back end of like it's almost like buttery corn on the cob.
Oh my
It's
gosh,
very
I
faint and
cannot
just
wait
kind of
for
sits
corn on the
there.
cob season.
But it's not like standing out, and I think it's because you still have so much of the orange rind sitting in the middle of the palate that it's hidden back there.
I get a little bit of that orange peel on the, but mainly on the tip of my tongue. At the first initial palate, I get that. But I'm not getting that. But I'd love to. That buttery corn sounds awesome. I'm not getting that at the moment, but I did have a weird dinner.
What did you have for dinner, Ian?
My wife made this Ukrainian dish. Apparently, Jillian Harris loves it. And if you know her, like, I don't know, she's supposed to be somebody. So it's beet leaves wrapped in bread with some oil and whipping cream. It was good. But then she made ham and pea soup on top of that.
Okay.
So everything right here is all ham and pea soup. So like
you did not come in tonight with a clean palate, sir.
I tried. I took a Tums, brushed my teeth, did everything I possibly could, but it's that so I could be a little askew because of dinner. All right, I'm gonna start nosing the surprise and see what it
Do
is.
we get to find out what the surprise is?
Now the
Darryl
surprise
gave
I
us
have not actually had yet either.
Oh,
Giving us a bottle, like focus, damn it. What the hell?
It is poured in my 12 days of blind whiskey.
okay.
Bulleit Surprise. That's all we know.
But yeah, it's Bulleit, obviously.
Did you age Bulleit 10-year with a Bulleit?
Yeah, you guys are drinking lead right now.
We're getting
like the
some
guessing
like
game.
copper notes and some lead. No, I'm kidding.
It's got a little bit of a
It's gonna make your teeth fall out.
It's got a little bit of a subdued nose compared to the other one.
I agree.
So I'm wondering, does that mean it's a longer age statement because maybe it's had more time to mellow? Or
I'm not getting the oak on this that I was getting on the other one. So that the oak, if you go back to the other one, that pungent smell, that like intense aroma that you're getting,
yeah.
I feel like that's the oak you're smelling. So barrel spice, that oakiness.
So do we think the surprise
and dark fruit?
Yeah.
Do we think the surprise was possibly barreled in a different barrel? Did it have an extra barreling?
I don't know. Well, I don't think it's based on my nose. I think it might be younger than the 10-year-old.
Okay.
Because in bourbon terms, 10 years is fairly aged.
But it's a surprise. 10 years. That's true. 10 years is an old bourbon. This has more pop. This has a better finish.
More pop, you say, eh?
Ooh.
Yes, this is a better finish.
That's not finish. That's proof.
Like,
yeah, higher proof.
This kind of pop,
Yes! Why didn't we get those with our sample?
I keep forgetting I've had
exactly it though.
Are you getting pop rocks?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not as heavy as when we had the Alberta Premium.
Yeah,
but it's there
on the sides on your cheek.
I'm saying if the first Bulleit was at like a 42%, I think we're definitely into the 50s with this.
So as I was taking
as
I was about to take my first sip, I was breathing through my nose, and it was all cinnamon.
Yeah, I agree with Dave. It's a really subdued nose.
Yes, I want the nose of the 10 with this finish.
Mm-hmm. I definitely get the
love it.
I get the cinnamon for sure.
This is a good bourbon.
Oh my goodness, Darryl,
nice and spicy. So, should I do the reveal?
Please. Bulleit bourbon.
Can I get
barrel strength?
Oh yeah.
Barrel strength. What does that mean? How high?
That's 120.
This is 48.3 on the batch 6. I think batch 4 that came in the LCBO last time was like high 60s.
Does it say what the proof is on that?
This one's 58.3.
Oh yeah, so yeah.
I thought you said 48 at the beginning.
So no,
that's not 48.
I was like, it's not 48.
Yeah.
58.3.
Okay.
It's batch 6. I think the last batch that came into Ontario was batch 4.
The nose is starting to come through a little bit more now that it's sitting, and now that I'm sipping on it.
Cinnamon hearts, Darryl, 100% on that nose. Yeah.
Yeah. Especially as you go to sip it.
But still, for 116 proof or whatever it is, it's the nose. Like, It's not harsh. The nose is
No.
not harsh. The palate and the finish is strong, but
Yeah.
the nose isn't bad.
You can take a deep nosing of this and it's
Yeah.
not burning.
And cinnamon hearts to a T. Do you get that, Dave, on the nose?
Yeah. But
Like-
like even the same notes from the 10 are coming through. And that's you like with a high proof, sometimes you lose a lot of those notes and you're getting that like cinnamon heart or that high alcohol proof in it. But I'm still getting that pininess. I'm getting that dark fruit, whether it's cherry or whatever. The orange rind is even still coming through on the palate, even though like you get that pop rocks. It's like a nice like orange flavored pop rocks.
I'm gonna do something here.
But it doesn't kick that hard.
You know, it
wouldn't.
reminds me of
Okay.
batch 1 of Alberta Premium.
Does it?
It's high proof or higher proof, but it doesn't have that high proof bite.
Yes.
Good palate though.
See,
Good
so
palate,
that's what
but
I mean.
it doesn't
So-
have that. Like I've heard the other Bulleit barrel strengths that have been released are like fire water.
Oh, okay.
Like they hit you and knock you down.
Yeah.
And I find with this,
Oh.
I get a good like mouth kick, but it doesn't follow down. Where with a rare breed, it's whatever 58% I think as well. It I find gives that Kentucky hug where you're getting that feel on like the finish, like you're swallowing and it's kind of hitting into the chest. Where this I find gives more of that mouth shot than it does the after almost, if that makes sense.
It's still got that front of the palate, mid palate that the 10-year-old has. There's not a ton at the back or down the throat.
Yeah. So I just did a 50-50 10 surprise mix. So if you have a little bit of that 10 left, just try it.
Oh,
Just
the
doesn't wanna
nose
get
on the
away from the
10, the
nose.
oakiness
What's that?
of that.
I haven't
Just
tasted
loving
it
the
yet,
nose.
but the nose on the 50-50 mix is pretty awesome.
Oh, it would be. Does the oakiness follow over?
It pulls more oak and then adds the cinnamon to the 10.
Oh my gosh, like the 10's still really good.
Yeah.
Going back to the 10, I thought it was going to be like a Coors Light and it was just going to be way too easy to drink after going back to the high proof, but the 10 still has a good palate to me. The finish disappears, but I like the palate of it.
That's nice.
Wow.
50-ish mix.
Mm.
So
The
Bulleit,
mouth-
if you're watching this,
Is that 50-50 there?
Yeah, dump it
there's
together.
another special release.
it?
The mouthfeel changed a ton. It lasts forever.
I'm really grateful that you gave me a 2-ounce sample, Darryl. Thank you.
You're
I'm going
welcome.
to save that.
What do you think, Darryl?
Yeah, that's got way more finish at the back.
It's still there.
Yeah.
And like creamy.
Very creamy.
Very creamy.
Wow.
It's creamy. It's like a Cadbury cream egg.
Oh my goodness. So, okay. Tying back to the beginning of the episode where Darryl and I were fangirling over Yellowstone. In the show, subliminally, they have Bulleit bottles in the background. And that's what they have at home and that's what they're pouring. So I was like, being in the TV industry, I'm like, oh, okay, that's smart of Bulleit to pay to be a part of this so that people go out and buy Bulleit bourbon so they can be like Kevin Costner. And I wasn't going to fall to that advertising. I wasn't going to be affected by it. I wasn't going to be like, no, I know what you're trying to do here and it's not going to get to me. But now that I've tasted it, it's going to get to me and I'm going to go buy a Bulleit. I need to buy a Bulleit.
Do it.
I have to.
The bottles are great too.
Do we know what the mash bill is on this Bulleit here that we're drinking? Because am I just feeling like I'm getting rye or
High rye.
there is a high rye in this?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's definitely giving me like, I was trying to find where I had it, but the Alberta Premium, like it is giving me memories of that.
Yeah, it's a high rye mash bill. I'm not sure exactly what it is. But it's definitely like, so you think of a Buffalo Trace or Elijah Craig, which is high corn. This has more rye in it than those would have. So you're definitely getting some rye influence in it.
It's interesting because I was just watching the other day, watching back our other episodes, and the one where I was saying that I feel like I'm falling in love with rye, and I think I messaged you guys while I was watching it. I'm like, don't tell bourbon.
Yeah.
But I think that's what's
that's exactly
what's hitting me. This, like, the second I nosed this, I was like, it blew me away, and I was like revitalized, like it almost like a smelling salt where it just wakes you right up. And I don't know if it is that high rye count in it where I didn't know that this was a high rye bourbon or a high rye that we were getting into, but that's like, now that I know that, it's kind of triggering those memories.
And you like Wild Turkey 101 and Rare Breed.
I do.
And they're high rye mash bills.
Oh, they are.
Yes.
See, I didn't know those.
So your palate's starting to know what you enjoy.
I do, but I did crack open my Weller Antique while I was at the cottage, and I do love that, which is a weeded bourbon.
Which is weeded,
bourbon.
Yeah.
But I will say that is one of the hardest things for me to pick blind. I always think that the OWA is a rye, and I have no idea why. I cannot pick that out. I always think it's rye. I think it's the spice and the proof, but I can never pick that as a weeded bourbon.
I have not pulled a Weller out properly of a blind
yet. I feel like that's their like moment. They're like, you'll never guess us.
That's good stuff. All right,
Darryl,
so go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Darryl, thank you for sharing these amazing pours. I haven't had Bulleit bourbon before, and I am truly enjoying these. So thank you for sharing your beautiful bourbon with us, my friend.
So Bulleit 10 years around $50. Buy. Bulleit, especially when it goes on sale for $5 off.
Ooh, okay.
Bulleit barrel strength, I think it was 80.
70, I think.
So I think 70, 80ish. I think the new one is 79.
Gotta get your story straight, boys, because we talked about it in the podcast. Whether or not you listen back to that podcast episode or not, we talked about buying bourbon and what your limit was, and I talked about my limit being around 60, and now you're saying that this is around 80, and I really like it.
But it's one of those. It's not out all the time.
It is not out all the time.
I think it's been 18 to 24 months since it was last dropped in the LCBO.
Oh, that excites me. Now I'm looking for it. That legit excites me.
Okay. And to go a little bit further with that though, Dave, I'll be the devil's advocate.
Do it.
What do you like better, the barrel strength or the 10? And is the 10 worth, or is the barrel strength worth that $30 more?
Oh, it's so tough because honestly, I love the nose on the 10 better. I would give the check mark to the 10 on that.
I agree.
If we were doing these blind. But the pop rocks of the barrel strength is what I love. And the fact that it's a high proof bourbon that I feel like it could be a first pour. I had a pour before it, but I feel like as a first pour, it's not going to hit you too strong. Where I feel like the Alberta Premium as a first pour, it kicks a little too hard. You need a primer to get into it.
Batch 2 for sure on the Alberta Premium.
I think this is a great first pour. So I don't know. I need both of them. I need them both.
It's
and I need
hot.
a Kevin Costner poster right there.
Yeah. I think there's a lot more heat if you poured it as your first pour than what you're getting after the 10-year-old.
This is going to be like a Knob Creek situation all over again.
I think so, actually. Yeah.
Okay.
Very much.
Okay.
I
So
think,
then I need both so that I can start with the 10 and then move.
Your brain's more proof now.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's matured into the proofing zone.
I also think the barrel strength is a little younger. When we did that blend, it definitely pulled some of that oak in there and it kind of balanced it a little more, in my opinion. Got that creaminess. The mouthfeel lasted a lot longer. So, but that said, if you bought both of them and blended maybe a 200 ml bottle together, you could have a little fun bottle to throw around as well. So,
but then it's like if you give a mouse a cookie, you're going to want another 200 ml bottle blend. It's just a vicious cycle.
And then you just got to buy more and buy
so now
more.
I have to buy 2 bottles. Let's do the math on this.
Yeah. All right, fellas. Well, I think we're all stoked about barrel barrel strength Bulleit barrel strength, as well as the Bulleit 10-year. This has been really fun. Darryl, thank you for sharing this whiskey with us. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime I come across something new, and hopefully something you guys haven't had before, that's getting to be the hard part for us all. But it's all part of our tagline: share good whiskey and let the proof do the talking. We're Northern
right.
Proof. Cheers,
Amen.
guys.
Absolutely. Cheers, boys.
Cheers,
Now
fellas.
make sure you hit the like, hit the subscribe, give us a comment, give us the things that give us the views that some more people can see us. Give us the exposure. That's all we're asking for.
We just want
Like-
some love.